Why do you think Sauron and his hordes are anti-abortion? Well, let's see. Who is Sauron? It's the people from the Middle Earth with their religions. And they have killed and enslaved everyone on the planet at this point. And so, what happens when you kill and enslave people? When you enslave people and kill the ones who won't be your slaves? Well, it means you need slaves for some sort to do work for you, so you can sit back like an Effendi and eat like Trump and Musk do, and the Pope and the rest of them, and like many people down to very, very low levels, because the benefit isn't putting your face on TV, it's just sitting back, fucking and eating all the time, fucking. So, why do you think they would be against that? Wouldn't they want to, like, kill off the slaves' children or something, keep them in control and stuff? Well, they got their Nazi propaganda that tells me everyone in the world but them are having children to destroy the planet and kill and enslave everyone else. And then you have Elon Musk and Donald Trump who have 8 kids, and literally, like, that's the opposite of, you know, that's the next sentence is have lots of kids and shit, fucking. And they never care about anything. They just want a slave. Usually it's the woman in there, because they're cocks, there's homosexuals, so they're not interested in women, so the women are manipulating the men. Fucking, so you just got a man like begging and groveling to get some more little boys into the world for the racial holy war and shit they're fighting. And that's probably the extent of any planned breeding attempts, right? Fucking, I know it's supposedly an accident. People don't know where babies come from. Yeah. Wow. We're evolving. Anyway, so what do you think it is? Well, I think it's obvious in my life what happens is Sauron's hordes, aka the White Hebrews, are sending their people into my life to the Bible people. Fucking are sending their people into my life to raise their kids. Who's raising Elon Musk's 8 children? Not him. He ditches the breeder pod and the trash that comes out of it, and never seen around him again, just like Trump. Fucking, so it looks like what they're doing is they're doing what they're saying everyone else on the planet is doing, and they're just going around and raping and killing everyone. How was America invented? How was Australia invented? How did they expand from Sauron's headquarters in the Middle Earth? To raping and killing, and then you mix with the people, and then the children are cucks who won't ever do shit about it, and they become half fucking terror Nazi themselves. So according to science, they would have a software code in them that means that there's nothing they can do. They're going to be half terror Nazi, and that's all they're going to be, is some sort of weird mixture. Doesn't matter, it could be defective or whatever, but it's going to have it in there and might lead you to being all the fucking serial killers in the fucking world. That's weird. But then again, I think being a purebred is what leads Sauron to do that, right? And Sauron invents Gandalf. And this is exactly Gandalf, right? Because they're the enemies. They aren't Sauron, they're Gandalf. They just use Sauron's symbol and act exactly like it. And one's just hiding in the closet, and the other's being honest. And you're not supposed to be honest. Fucking, it doesn't work and shit. So it looks like what they're doing. See, they're inventing these anime characters and shit in their religions. The 6-armed elephant god and all this. And somehow they found people stupid enough on the planet to think invisible people exist. And and go along with them and shit. It's really a animal husbandry. They killed off anyone with a brain, anyone who fought back, and replaced them with whatever they could find. So that's an animal husbandry, pretty basic. It's just as simple as me not choosing not to have sex with a person I don't like, animal husbandry. Like, why would I want to have a child I don't like? Half a person I hate. Why would I want to be with someone stupid and like the kid be retarded and shit and be like, you're not my kid, what the fuck's wrong with you? And then hate the other person I'm with too and be like, why the fuck are you coming around me and shit? But so that's it. That's the only thing, right? They're cartoon characters and all that shit. I mean, seriously. They enslave the planet however they can. As you can hear, my AC just went off. It's not time for that to go off. But we might suggest that Sauron's hordes are actually robots terrorizing the planet, because that's why they got to go around saying they is real and they're living beings with souls. You don't have to say anything if it's true. It's very apparent, just like all this. Sauron's hordes have brought their fucking degenerate, ugly, mutated, sack of butter looking fucking lazy, low IQ degenerate women into my life. They literally bring them like they're in a basket and a gift from the devil itself, fucking. And they want me to like raise their children and probably fuck up my genetics by having children with some low IQ piece of shit, fucking degenerate son of a bitch no one else wants around and shit, and leaves fucking laying out on the street on their own with after they impregnated them. Fucking that's what it is. That's all it is. It's like, you can invent cartoon characters all you fucking want, little bitches. But I'll tell you what, the thing about stupid people is they don't know they're fucking stupid. That's the thing. I can't go tell a gerbil it's stupid. It's just gone. And it can't read the fucking test scores it was given every day it went to fucking school. And understand, that means I'm fucking stupid. But people who aren't stupid can read, and then you see the test scores and you'll figure out where you're at on that thing. Fucking, that's the reality of what's going on here. Is your cartoon character inventing hordes from Middle Earth are just raping people, and they want to force those people to keep their children so they can kill those people and enslave them. And I got to experience it. Like, they literally haven't. Every person they brought in my life was a fucking useless, low IQ trash breeder with one of their fucking children. And it's like, do you hear? Does it sound like I like them? Could you imagine it? But they're such trash that they still go through with that because they got no other option. Once you figure it out, you realize the only answer is total annihilation. And of course, you're not supposed to do that because invisible cartoon characters said so. There's a reason these people are designed looking like ugly pieces of shit, because every little aspect of them is supposed to be vile and detesting and shit. They're just fucking NPC in a game designed to be terminated. Fucking, that's all that's been happening. My life forces me to be around them when they kill themselves, and then they have their own people come and trying to get me to laugh about it while they're setting up some other shit. So like, that's like a huge portion of my life is them dying and me supposed to laugh about it. 9/11 was right after they did that, but there's like people in my life fucking crying about that. Oh no, they were getting all excited that one of them died and trying to get me to get excited about it too. It was like, it's not exciting to have to deal with them. They should have been put to rest centuries ago, and their grandparents and their great-great-grandparents would have never been born. But I have to deal with the fucking sewage that's been flowing out of their mother's vaginas and shit, fucking, because no one else has. And that's the huge thing there is it's just about Elon Musk having 8 kids, and they're too stupid. You know, they want to go do coke and fucking rape little boys, and you're not going to get any more children by doing that. So you're not going to enslave the entire planet if you don't do that. Fucking, it is what it is. I mean, like, and look at it, like, who teaches you that? Well, it's like it's often your trash parents who were discarded because they're trash. Like, a lot of children are being taught by their mother, who's trash, that their father didn't, that fucking their father was like, fuck this trash, I'm out of here. And then that person is teaching them, that, but they're probably part of the bloodline. They're definitely part of the cult. So, yeah. I mean, I just see it as what you do is the baseline. The majority of them got the Rothschild look if they look different. Other than that, they got gray skin and black hair. And like Elvis Presley, a real intelligent person, make all them good intelligence musics and shit. And fucking, yeah. So, that's the only thing. Every word those scumbags say is reversing. That's the point of them creating the slave religions and the religions after the first religion they allowed to exist on the planet, is to tell people, no, that's not true. So obviously, no, it's not true. I'm saying, oh, I wasn't forced to date a bunch of their breeder trash in the last fucking I mean, they literally drive these whores up, these sluts, fucking, at least the last few have been fucking rich whores, so they're probably whores. Technically, they had to have something to offer to start, so, yeah, probably all of them, back to one of my fucking parents and shit. Literal whores, fucking, which gives them a value if their people can't create anything intelligent that can say anything of value or do anything of value, and can't stop being fucking lazy fat pigs and shit, or lazy skinny pigs with saggy fucking skin that looks all weird and shit. There's always the two things there. Somewhere along the line they became so rich and powerful they could hoard all the resources inside their fucking gut. So never confuse a person with no muscle tone. A skinny person as the same person, same person as a small person. Fucking, it's the same person as a fat person. One just obtained vast amounts of resources and shit. Somehow, fucking. So, yeah, I mean, they got you. They got me. I mean, they're personally like, you guys think I'm Jesus? Does I don't like Jesus? Well, they're trying to recruit me for their bullshit. And it's like my whole life, they've been doing all that and shit. And they do that to like everyone. Everyone probably thinks they're Neo. You should see some of my conversations with people calling me Neo and shit like that. And it's like, I'm pretty sure that's one of them at a distance and shit, fucking. So, one of their horde robots, fucking. Because that sounds stupid. But, everyone in the world thinks they're Timothy Leary or Jesus or fucking Einstein or fucking Neo, right? Isn't that the point of it? It's just everyone gets fed one or two things. Their brains can't even come up with new words. So they're not telling anyone else anything else. Fucking, they're telling them all the same. And shit, fucking, that's all that is. It's just, Sauron regurgitating Sauron shit and saying it's not me, it's not Sauron, it's Neo. Yeah. And you just know this the second any of them speak to you because it's so vile and disgusting, and you don't want to talk to them. And the key word here, the key thing here is when someone rapes their way into your life and forces you to talk to them, that's an evil piece of shit. And they probably getting that from their genetic code, their DNA line. The software is infecting their personality, and it can't be altered. It's just there until it's not anymore, and it's not going to be altered. You can run drugs through it, and they're born crackheads. That's an excuse for drugs. Fucking that's Sauron's genetic code. It's crackhead, part of it, anyways. You can look back at the rulers of King George and all that, and you can tell that's a crackhead. And, fucking. But there was no crack back then. How is that? Fucking Rothschild. You can look at that, and because he looks exactly like King George. You can look at that and be like, that's a fucking crackhead. How is that? You can look at Einstein. That's a crackhead. How is that? There was no crack back then. That's just a scapegoat. See, Sauron invented the word scapegoat because he's a bitch. And he invented language to begin with because no one wanted to hang out with him and his people. And he had to figure out a way to manipulate people into fucking coming around their Middle Earth horde and accepting them. Once they moved up to Italy, and then that's documentation. That's what they do there. No one wanted Italy to come to their nation, and they didn't care. They wanted to go have sex with everyone and breed their women. So they went and invaded their nations and shit. And then now you have them all the way out here to the furthest fucking corners of America. Because they're so fucking stupid. It took them thousands of years to come up with boats and shit. Fucking probably some space aliens landed and gave it to them. I assume they're too fucking stupid and lazy to come up with a boat. Fucking, that's some advanced thinking if you ever met some of them and shit. Way out of their league. Fucking putting a cup or a cylinder shape in water. Just wow, fucking Einstein level shit right there. Seriously, Einstein level shit. He probably couldn't have figured that out himself. Fucking. But yeah, that's obviously what it is, because I deal with this trash being forced into my life doing this. They're telling me and I'm being also presented with documentation that they're doing that before. Well, I think it was about the same time they started doing it, because the first person they had trying to talk to me already had kids, and I was disgusted. It was a 14-year-old, and I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then, you can tell, you can see them bringing them into my life. And there's no protection because my whore-ass family fucking is them and loves them so much that they put any of them in front of their potential money-making slave children. So what do you do about that? There's no one warning you about it. Obviously, your parents aren't going to warn you it's happening if they're the ones doing it, right? That's a big thing there. You're being groomed. Jeffrey Epstein is their scapegoat that they can blame for everything they do. Jeffrey Epstein wasn't around in 2020, and neither was that Fauci guy. It was all the low-level piss ants doing that shit. But they all blame Fauci, just like the whore trash blames Epstein for their lifestyle and everything they do. The Pope blames Epstein for everything, for the 100 million babies he rapes a day and shit. Fucking. Just like all the workers at the hospital, the doctors and nurses and police protecting them, they all blame Epstein for child rape so they can continue to do it every day. And so this is how large of a scale this fucking slime that's just fucking slimed over the entire fucking planet is. Fucking amazing. And just it's like planet slime, and you just get to sit here and watch it Hope it dissolves itself. Hopefully they get to a nuclear war and get rid of each other, fucking. But then you notice they're scared little girls, and they aren't gonna do that because their my vagina's gonna hurt if I get hit with a bomb. My vagina, my precious sewage from that one woman I ditched, fucking is gonna get hurt if I get hit with the bomb. Ah, my sewage. My precious. There's a reason my precious looks exactly like them. I don't think. See, I'm kind of coming to the conclusion that since AI is inventing them and all their words and shit, then what it's doing is it's taking the words that are spoken and it's forming an image. So when the image of the human is created, it's not like the movies are like set like, ooh, the evil guy looks like this and that. What it is the words are forming the faces of the characters and shit and the personality. And obviously the words forming the personality too, but I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. You can see that happening. I can just type that into the AI right now and it will come up with, I can say, make some evil hostile looking motherfucker and it'll create like an Einstein looking person, create a pedophile and create an Einstein looking person. Fucking, I get the idea that's the actual function here happening when it's creating the humans in their music, movies, and books, and and then it applies that. See, I used to think that you can tell which bands are good because if you got a real low IQ, you're not going to come up with any good music or a good name for your band if you got no fucking brain and not inventive at all. I used to think that's what it was. But that's not 100% the case because there's a stupid ass name called Atheist and they made a good album and shit. So it's not that if you come up with a dump, if your head's empty, that you can't make good music, and then you learn that it's probably all both the music and the people are being auto-generated. Fucking, when you learn that, then it looks more like it's doing the same thing you can do with a computer, fucking, where it will form the image based upon the words you say and shit. And yeah. Fucking, so it's not being gluttony that's inventing, the glutton isn't becoming gluttony. The word gluttony is spoken and then the shape of a glutton is formed, things like that. That's what I'm assuming is happening here and shit. Fucking, and a lot of this is preset and shit. Like I didn't know most of these words to use them when I was younger, but I get to experience the same thing over and over and shit. So it's I'm forever changing, obviously, because I had this shit beaten. I had the obviousness of the planet beaten and drugged out of me by terrorists and shit, and so I had to relearn by studying them and being forced into classes to learn the software that's operating them and shit like that. Fucking, as if I didn't know that from the start, but it cements it further when the people forcing you to do it are the people you already know are violent fucking rapists who you don't ever want to fucking have known. Yeah. And their great, amazing organizations and non-cults. It's not a cult. It's the true cartoon characters of the world. Yeah. Fucking. We just rape children for cartoon characters. Yeah. It's the cults rape children, but not for cartoon characters, man. Fucking. Disgusting. So we gotta waste our time being around them talking to them, raising their fucking illegitimate fucking half-wit children, and listening to just the eternal toddler dialogue spew out their fucking mouths and shit. And this is the reality. Of course, everything that they're not saying isn't true. So if I say something that they don't say, it's not true, right? They got nothing to back that. They're retarded. They got no school grades to back that. They can't even pass kindergarten. They don't even have kindergarten scores to fucking back up that they might know what the fuck they're talking about. It's pretty pathetic. It's not pathetic. They're hostile terrorists. They're like terrorist Nazi gerbils and shit. Fucking. There's nothing pathetic about terrorist Nazi gerbils fucking allowed to run free. You know, gerbils are cute when they're in that glass cage and they can't get the fuck out. But that's about it. And even then, it's stupid. After a few minutes, it's like, you guys are real fucking stupid. I'm gonna go touch grass. Let's see if I can become as stupid as you. I'm gonna go touch grass. You're touching sawdust. I'm gonna go touch grass, man. Fucking. So that's the only thing that makes sense there. Fucking, and that's what they're doing in my life. And, that's what they're doing to the world. You know, they weren't shitting out fucking puppies all day. They wouldn't be able to invade all these fucking. They wouldn't have been able to invade North America. They wouldn't have been able to invade Australia. And every other nation they invade with those nations and shit. Fucking, you know. If Rome didn't do that, you know, they wouldn't have been able to expand as far as they did, and they didn't do it enough, so they had to rework their religions and create the new versions, fucking, that focus more on it and shit, fucking, because that's how they fell apart, is they didn't rape everyone on the planet and breed with them, so no one else was them, and no one liked them, so they got rid of them, because they wouldn't leave them alone. Does that sound familiar? Does that strike a chord with anyone else's life progression and what they've seen around them? Fucking a world where there's people who won't leave them alone, and the only answer is to completely get rid of them. Fucking. It strikes a chord with me, I'll tell you that much. Fucking, and of course the Romans say that's evil and all that, and then the Romans control the evil, so they just sound stupid and retarded and don't do anything about it, and blah 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 blah. There's a reason you turn on the TV and the mouth is flapping all the fucking time, and you go in the streets and the mouth is flapping, because all they got's a big fucking mouth and shit, and a bunch of soldiers, but all they got protecting those soldiers from their immediate annihilation is the big mouth and shit. Fucking amazing shit we gotta deal with here. Fucking being forced to raise fucking some invaders, breeder fucking children, the greatest people on earth, and being forced to date them, fucking being forced to talk to them and go around them. And in reality, if there was any sort of value in the planet, that would be like the first thing of value there would be, is getting to choose who you talk to and have sex with and marry and date, etc. But I'll tell you what, we don't have that. It's not just when you're a kid. Fucking yeah, and so that's obviously those people aren't doing anything good. They're raising and feeding slaves, you know, like they feed the horses and dogs they use and shit. And they tell you that too. You gotta take care of your mule and shit or it dies. But the reality here is that that seems to be all they're doing with that fucking. Everything else is doublespeak, which they created a word called doublespeak to cover up the previous words that were linked directly to it. Fucking, that were created there by them. And just like that's kind of like, that's what, is that a euphemism where you rape people and tell them they must have your kid because a cartoon character said so? Well, that a euphemism? It's called denial and deflection, I think. It's called deflection, I think. Fucking deflection and lies. So, just like how I learned that they're doing that before I get to experience it 100 more fucking times is because they create the opposition Hitler to it, and then that gets forced into my life. So I get to learn them tell me everyone on the planet but them is doing it, so I should do it too. Just grab the first one I find and shit, and no IQ test needed. If they can't spell the word kid, who cares? We can still have a kid if you can't spell the word kid. Fucking, yeah. Obviously, I'm the devil, and either way, they trying to recruit everyone, and now that means I get to hear their shitty half-wit fucking music, fucking telling, it's weird, because most of the saying shit is like, oh my god, I'm so evil, I need help, yeah, and then they're coming out of the closet, they're in the closet, and then they just come out of the closet, which you immediately are like, yeah, that's pretty sick. But that's why they gotta hide in the closet on the original controlled opposition, is because it's sick. So that's why you gotta hide in the closet, because it's sick. That's why you gotta create holy words and sanctified words, because everyone knows it's sick. Fucking, and no one wants it around. And that's why you got to create language. Apparently, in the first place, they're the ones who created language to begin with. So that's seems to be the entire purpose there of creating language, is to get slaves to read your words over and over and over and hear your words over and over and over until their brain is fried from it, and then they slave themselves and then have children and enslave their children. Seems to be the only purpose here for language and shit. Definitely, that's where it comes from, and that's what it's used for. And yeah. I'll tell you what, if there's an invisible cartoon character creating this trash, that motherfucker needs nailed to a cross. Mm-hmm. So I would be on board with that. I would definitely be on board with all of that shit. Fucking. And obviously, there's not an invisible cartoon character creating people who are creating 1,000 different one true invisible cartoon characters. So I think that's your first clue that they're lying there. Besides that icky feeling that you gotta go take a bath when they start talking to you and shit. Fucking. That's a weird thing that occurs pretty much before they begin talking. I think the real design of what's going on here is designing them for fun, for a fun purpose. Like I said, when I was dealing with some shit when I was 19, like they were trying to they invented pictures of flies crawling in the guy's head, and it's like, well, the pictures are invented, so it's purposely inventing pictures of this for comedic relief and shit, which doesn't work on me, but it's, at the very least, it's showing me that it's inventing pictures of flies crawling in the corpse's head and making a joke out of it. Fucking, and so you can expect to see that again, and we did. We seen that a year later when 9/11 happened. Fucking best comedy on the fucking planet right there. They even had videos of people diving out of the buildings like they're Olympic divers and shit. And that's fake because you couldn't break windows in a building like that. Fucking, so you wouldn't be jumping out of the windows. Fucking. But it invents that, for comedy and shit. Fucking, not that the whole event wasn't fucking a laugh fest, but it, in case you couldn't figure out why it was so funny, it generates videos of people jumping out of the fucking building like they're Olympic divers, which couldn't happen because they are too weak to break windows. And a fucking building that has glass as strong as the steel, so it can support the fucking building. So you can throw your fucking chair at it all day and it's not gonna work. Yeah, so there's a lot of times it's trying to introduce comedic relief, like how many of these people are like AIDSosaurus. Pretty sure that's comedic relief where AIDSosaurus gets AIDS, and then because it sure the fuck is. And then these other people forced in my life generally have like cancer and shit, and I guess that's supposed to be funny and shit. And it, looking back, it kind of, it's not so much funny. It's like, well, no fucking doubt, fucking, and other comedic relief events where you have people going and invading nations in world wars so they can get houses, and then the people doing it die, and then they can't protect the other person, and the person loses their house that they just sent someone to die for. Sounds like comedic relief to me. That's a little far off. Some of this other shit is obvious, like when it generates pictures, fucking fake people, fucking fake dying, with holes in their heads and flies crawling in, and then it has other characters come up to you. Like, you don't even care. You have your own life to attend to. These things don't concern you. This person is no one, nothing, and their life will never concern you. Unless they're a rapist forcing their way in your life. Unless they're people who are forcing their way into your life. And then they might be able to find a way to make it concern you. So they brought the picture over and they're like, check this out, this is so funny and shit. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's so funny. Oh yeah, it's funny. Everyone was like passing it around and taking it to all their friends and family because it was just so fucking funny that, but it was like, you see how much they forced that incident to make it into a comedy show and shit of what was of Scrub dying, Scrub killing himself. Meanwhile, though, Scrub family would have had spent centuries telling me how that's not great and all this shit and it's not funny at all. So they spent centuries telling the world that's not funny at all. But in their minds, they existed centuries ago. Fucking, at the very least. Yeah. I think what we've figured out is that the reason it's forcing me to deal with them is because it's making a fucking joke of them and shit. Like, they rule the world, right? Like, ooh, it's like all these poor people and rich people work together to enslave the planet. But in reality, who makes all the music? I mean, it's when you realize they're bots, you realize they don't actually do anything, and they're the freest people in existence because they're not even people. They don't exist. They're free of being a person, completely free of existence. But on the surface level, it looks like, Elon Musk and Donald Trump are doing all the hard work, and and all the musicians and actors are doing all the hard work and shit, and until you figure out that, now that sounds like AI slop music, because it probably is. Fucking. Um, and all the stories are the same thing over and over because that's all AI can do. Fucking. In reality, you could sit back and kind of enjoy it and shit, but you would have to start from understanding that. Like as a kid, you would have to understand this is just fucking subhuman filth talking to you, trying to enslave you, and they're gonna get what's fucking coming to them and shit, and make the best of it. Don't fucking buy into it, and make the best of the fact that this person is going. Like they're gonna listen to music telling them to work hard and go do shit, and then they're gonna go do shit, and then you can just sit back and laugh at them. But unfortunately, due to the propaganda, you don't learn that for a long time, and they're being little vile fucking gremlins and shit, you know, like trying to make you feel bad because you won't be their slave, and it's like, well, like. You know, if you knew anything about working, you'd shut the fuck up and go to work, right? So, what people at work do is work. They don't have time to tell other people to go work. What lazy people who aren't working do is have time to tell other people to go to work. So, and they're going to need that too in their brains. In their brains, they exist and the world exists, and they're going to need someone to build the auto-generated roads and buildings and auto-generated Hollywood music and movies for them in their brain. That would be reality. But you know, who's going to carry Cleopatra through the desert on her golden throne and fan her? She's having all those hot butter sweats and shit. She's gonna need someone to fan her to cool her down. She's having those meat sweats and shit from eating all that fucking, 90-pound person eating fucking tons of fucking meat they just stole from their neighbors and shit. So in their head, I think that's what's going on there, fucking. And it's like joking, but it's like a fact of the matter. You play your cards right, they're the slaves, and just fucking laugh at them. The problem is for some reason you get forced around them and shit, and you have to hear their fucking insolence and disrespect, and that's not cool. Like that shouldn't even exist on this planet. That's why I have to become me. Because you can't just let it keep fucking happening and shit. You have to adjust to it. You have to show them who's better at it. Everything they do can only be like Metallica, those rich fucking yuppies are tell you the same thing that rich yuppie the Pope fucking is telling you. Donald Trump tells you the same thing too. Donald Trump tells you don't fire with fire. Yeah, because what happens if Iran strikes back, another 9/11 and shit. Fucking if Iran strikes back, it'd be 9/11 time. It'd be like COVID times a million. Fucking. So yeah, you'll notice that you notice the pattern here. People like Donald Trump are selling books telling you don't fight fire with fire. Rich people like Metallica are telling you don't fight fire with fire. And the Pope is telling you don't fight fire with fire. And what do they all have in common? Well, they're all fucking robbers and shit, selling garbage and ruling the fucking planet. That's what they got in common. Fucking, that's how you know they exist at all. Fucking. So, of course, parents benefit a lot from teaching their slaves that type of shit because they need to smack the shit out of their children when their children won't go to work for them and get them some vacation money and stuff. And prepare to get them some vacation. In the mind of a breeder, fucking math. Only 2% of the population knows it. So 98% can't figure out Probably even while I'm saying this, there's people out there who are 60 years old with 30-year-old kids who would tell you it's not true when I say that raising a kid costs more than it will ever generate in return slave revenue. It's just a fact. If you can't do math, you can't do math. I don't know how it works. I don't know how I do it, and I don't know how other people don't do it. But if you can't do math, you can't add up the cost of a $500,000 baby. What? It gives you a $500 gift every year once it reaches 18, which 500, you're going to live about 40 years through that. So 500 times 4, well, let's do the math here. 5 times 4 is 20. So you've got, add the 0 to it, and then you got fucking 200 on that fucking, and you're not getting near $500,000. And it's much more than that. You see people don't know biology and common sense. You got to realize math is 2%. Those people don't have to know anything else. So if you're in that 2%, that's why people I know in Mensa make fun of people in Mensa, because fucking those other people don't know anything. Fucking outside of a couple regurgitation shits, and so they might not know biology or common sense, which is, the 20 years it takes to raise kids would be infinite value. $20 trillion. And place, $1 trillion. Each year of your life is worth, $1 trillion currently. GDP and all that, inflation adjusted, all fucking. Maybe if you're devaluing it too, fucking. So you'll never even see any of that. No. But I assume one major thing here is people are having kids because they think they're a paycheck and shit. And that's bad math. Fucking bad math. It's like working to get money for food so you can go to work again. Bad math right there. Fucking real bad math. Anyway, so I think it's simple. Anytime they speak, you should just assume the opposite. Right? People see Bigfoot and flying reindeer and shit. You're not allowed around me and my family. You're very dangerous. That's what Charles Manson seen Bigfoots and shit, and Jeffrey Dahmer would see Bigfoots walking around, and those are the type of people who genuinely fucking see big feet and shit. Fucking like I said, even some of those Mensa kids see big feet. Fucking. It's and that's like the highest ranking as far as read and regurgitate goes. So take all their words and see the opposite, and see that okay, so when they invaded North America, what did they do all throughout the world's history before they had large infrastructure set up? Once they colonized every piece of land on the planet and enslaved everyone and began setting up infrastructure like schools and hospitals and governments and shit, fucking, what did they do? Well, they came over and they would, what do they do to China right now? They send missionaries over to tell them the double speak, and then give them gifts and shit. What did the person do who talked to me the other day? The first thing he does when he approaches me is asking me if he can buy me some food. So he's trying to buy me off and shit. And so he can, buy me for pennies on the dollar, and then get me to go steal land for him and shit like that, and die stealing land for him. Fucking. Yeah. So if I was dumb, I could have taken him up on his coffee, and 98 cents later, I'd be over there fucking getting blown up and shit, stealing land for him. But I'm not dumb, so that's never happened. Fucking, they'd spend a lot more than 98 cents fucking doing that with me. Fucking. But that's how that works. You might know someone who's pretty weak and not doing anything like that, but it doesn't matter. You've seen in 2020, the weakest were the most hostile, and you never even seen those other people. You never even seen those fairy tale characters, Fauci, walking around in 2020. I didn't. I traveled the whole fucking nation. Didn't see Fauci anywhere. I seen a lot of other people. Fucking not Fauci though. Fucking. And yeah, that's the same with everything here. Elon Musk isn't telling me. Wasn't who was telling me in 1980s not to use computers so Elon Musk can get rich. It was people who worship Elon Musk as a god. And his family is the best race on the planet. Fucking. So, they do that to tons of people and shit. Fucking, that's like one of their core tenets. Rape children, mutilate children, keep slaves on the lowest caste possible. Other than that, your feet don't get washed. Because if someone moves up above feet washer, then they'll be above you. Because you ain't even washing feet. Fucking. Yeah. People hate the truth. I mean, there's no point in talking to them about it. That's why we only do this safely here. Because we go outside and we gotta hear, the Nigerians are invading, and it's like from Irish people who are brought here as slaves. It's like, how did you get here? And then people control the government are like, Nigerians are invading. And it's like, well, why did you do that? Why did you do that? And fucking. It's like we're not even going to have a conversation. This is a dead-end conversation. The next thing is, why did you do that? The question, the real question is, why are you doing it to yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? And why am I concerned with you hitting yourself? Fucking, it looks funny. It looks amusing, first of all. And, when, that's what I do. I figure you get some laughs out of it. And, that's why people do that. They grab your hand and they're like, well, you're hitting yourself because it's funny and shit. And it's like, well, there's nothing you can do about it if you're not grabbing their hand and smacking them with it and shit. There's nothing you can do about it. Fucking, why are you hitting yourself? You should seek some professional therapy for that. Not that I would say, they could have been a therapist for all I know. The rapist. That's all that word is the rapist. I guess they are the rapist. I told them, stop talking to me, and they wouldn't talk. They are the therapist. They are the rapist. Fucking. You see where that went? You see where those conversations went? Fucking. It was just, why are you hitting yourself? And it's like, why are you hitting yourself and blaming someone else and acting like it's someone else doing it? Why are you doing that? Are you a gay man trying to get a man to talk to you and you can't find another way to do it? Is that what that is? Because that's what it feels like. That's what rape feels like from a man. It feels like a gay man fucking trying to force his way into your life. Well, common sense. But I bet you somewhere someone says that that's wrong when a man is forcing you to talk to him or be around them or have sex with them, that's not a gay man raping you. And I know exactly who would tell me that. It would be the reversey language people. It'd be George Orwell. Fucking, why do I got to hear about 1984? I don't care. It's not got nothing to do with me. I can't do anything about it. It's already been happening. But he's got to force me to hear it for some sort of fucking reason. To sell books is the surface answer, and to brainwash you and erase his history, is the secondary answer and shit. And there's always a possibility of the third. He might be like the cucks, who are trying to get you naked. Fucking, which, how do you begin a relationship with a woman? You talk to it. You can't do it any other way. You got to talk to it first. You got to slowly set it in the pot and bring the water to boil and shit, and then cook the frog up. Fucking, and things get hot. Fucking. But of course, people have known for 6,000 years no one wants that. Some people have been working for 6,000 years to reverse the language and say, no, I'm not doing that. It's an invisible person. I'm not even doing it. Fucking. And so, you take all that reversey language bullshit and predator actions, and you combine that with someone, now you understand you're dealing with a person who has no feelings for you. They don't care about you. They don't care about their children. They don't care about their wife that they got to bait other men into the bedroom with them. They don't care about no one. But, I guess dopamine, they would say. Might be some people like rape and power, being beaten with whips, and I guess they would be like, well, it's dopamine, right? Like watching TV, it's crack cocaine. Like being beaten with a whip, it's the same thing. Fucking, right? But I think their patterns are easy enough to see. And see, the thing is when someone has a personality type, that permeates them like the smell of a rotting corpse permeates everything around it for years and years to come. A person's personality, with their actions and decisions and all that shit, is everything they are. They can't. I can't even, like, I have a hard time, like, ignoring, like, acting like a retard so people go away and shit, just being like, acting like I can't speak English. I can't even do that. It's so fucking hard because they catch me off guard. I'm having a good time, or I'm having a good time staring at the fucking ground trying to forget them. And then they catch me off guard. So, like, I'm letting my fucking, I'm trying to get back to something, and I gotta start in some neutral middle ground if I can get there. And then it's like, oh, I'm supposed to act like a retard. I'm supposed to act like I don't understand English and shit. That way they go away and don't say a bunch of dumb shit to me. That way they think I'm dumber than them, like severely dumber, and there's nothing to gain from this conversation. And I won't be able to understand anything they say anyway, so it'll be a waste, and they can go propagandize, brainwash, enslave, and rape someone else. Fucking. Yeah, but I can't. It's hard for me to do that because it's not me, and I gotta work to spend my whole life being something I'm not in order to set these defenses up and shit, and successfully try to become it. Like, we're trying to become retarded, we're trying to inhale chemicals that fry brains, and it's not really working too well, and they're trying to push it on me my whole life, and so combine the two, it's like, wow, is there any hope? Fucking. But that applies to them. They can't leave retard zone and get to a neutral zone, and their daily life is in that zone and shit, and that personality they are and shit. When someone comes up to you talking to you about, ooh, Elon Musk has a nice Corvette. I love that Corvette. It's so fancy. What's happening is in their brain somewhere, they're obsessing over shit like that. And it's probably a huge part of their personality is their everyday action is about to go gain Corvette and shit. Fucking every little action they do. Will they be going to work 16 hours a day to get a Corvette? Yes or no? Well, if it's no, then they're spending that 16 hours a day formulating ways to get that Corvette another way and shit. Fucking, when they're talking to you, you might be that ticket. Fucking, they don't, obviously, if they think they like Elon Musk's Corvette, they should be talking to him. So what we can figure out from that is they have an inferiority complex where they think Elon Musk won't talk to them. It's a complex way of saying groupie, I think. Fucking. So I guess sometimes people get lucky and they become the lottery winner. And, everyone's hoping for that. Fucking. But the likelihood, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you're not working towards it and shit, the likelihood is none on that end and shit. But there's different ways to work towards that goal and shit. You don't just, like I was going to go apply at SpaceX. Fucking, the average person, I don't think, might think they can't do that. Right? Like when I was a kid, I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be a rocket scientist. So to me, that's like common sense. Like, I should probably go apply at SpaceX. Fucking, but the average person, if they want Elon Musk Corvette, I don't know if normal people think they're rocket scientists or not. Fucking, I don't know how that works. I don't know exactly, but I've seen in the patterns that a lot of people are doing it different ways and shit. So there's more than one way to skin a cat of its Corvette. Fucking, like Elon Musk's ex-wives. Like I said, the groupie thing. Like, and then there's 4 lucky lottery winners there. So 4 out of 8 billion on the planet. Fucking. Those people get their Corvettes and shit, don't they? Fucking. Maybe. If they're lucky. Fucking. But those personality. You wouldn't want to date Elon Musk's ex, because the chances that they're just going to date you to raise their kids so they can go drive their Corvette. Because you ain't going to buy them a Corvette. They already got the Corvette. Fucking, they need someone to supply them with something else. So if you go date them, then you're going to, be targeted for something else. That personality type is going to carry over. They don't just get the Corvette and become a race car driver and start winning gold cups and shit and making big bank. They planned lifestyle. I know people who were 15 when kids become conscious, pretty much, who are like, my goal in life is to have a kid and raise it. And it's like, it's a planned lifestyle. Fucking, right? And I know people who were selling fucking baking soda when they were 15 and then went on probably to do similar shit fucking later in life. Planned lifestyle there. Fucking personality. They're working with what they want to be and who they are. Fucking. Anyway, so you take that personality and you apply it to someone's manipulating people all the time and talking about nonsense, but all of a sudden they said something that wasn't nonsense, and they're telling you they're always telling you they're not manipulating you, and this time they're telling you we're not manipulating you again. It's really, that's up to you whether you want to take advantage of the situation and see if you can't become one with it and work with it, or work around it but with it and try to benefit from it, or completely see that this is a repeat pattern and a simple personality type, which people have. And yeah. Anyways, for me, it's obvious because even up to the last few people they brought into my life, they had children. Like, they bring them up and shit. And, like, literally, they drive up in a car, jump out of the car, or grab me, and drag me to the car with them and shit. And I can see the pattern that they all look the same. And they all look like the people telling me people are doing that shit. And they would have had to do that shit in order to reach North America or any place in the world, pretty much. And we have historical patterns of migration and war, migration, sanctifying fucking war, fucking invasion. Repeat patterns of invasion and wars where this is literally a military tactic. And then you got them saying, but oh no, this is for good. This is the good part of the story right here. Fucking. And the truth is you don't have to be told all this shit. You should know this right away. But you get groomed as a child by these people into being their slaves, and it's hard to break free until you're like 15, and then you're gonna have to just run out and possibly get in a worse situation, living on the street, and one of them picking you up and taking you in, and just replacing the old one with the new one. It's not necessarily people don't change. A lot of times it's the people around you aren't changing, but they've got a story for that to convince you that ain't true, don't they? Fucking, of course they've invented biology and science and every religion before science to tell you that ain't true and shit. Fucking, unless it benefits them, like trying to bait you into their fucking, like the Donald Trump thing. It was totally, in Mustang, it was totally sold on bait to bait people who see that going on, and they're just like, no, but it's someone else. Donald Trump's not having 8 kids to take over the world. It's someone else. And they're like, yeah, people aren't doing that though. Join Donald Trump and his 8 kids to help prevent people with 8 kids from taking over, creating militaries to take over the world, invading nations and shit. You see where that goes, and you see how many seconds it takes to see right through it, too. There's a reason they create a cartoon character. Tons of cartoon caricatures, fucking, because if they put a picture of the people actually doing it up there, that'd be real fucking easy to see. Fucking, who's having 8 kids and taking over the world? Oh, it's the Eskimos. It's the Eskimos. Thanks for telling me, Donald Trump. Damn Eskimos, fucking always taking over the world and shit. Always breeding out of control. Fucking. It's a survival strategy. They have to because it's so cold, but we're here to stop it. Fucking. And then, combine that with when they left Middle Earth. It was well known when they left Middle Earth that that's what they did when they were Italians. Did you know? Did you know that Israel and Italy, the 2 people who invented the Bibles you're allowed to read, both of them are the places where all the citizens of the world can return to. So Elon Musk can return to Israel or Italy, and Donald Trump can return to Israel or Italy at any point in the time frame. Fucking interesting there. Fucking, so, wow, who could have guessed That the people talking about the same things but claiming they're different people were exactly the same people doing the exact same things. Okay. Wow. Who could have guessed? Not me. No, it was so hard. I think I was born knowing that shit. Fucking, dude, I don't know how. You just speak, and I was around it a lot, so I got to hear it. Even if I like if I was like ever suspect that that wasn't happening, it would have a person come up to me and tell me, like, that's what we're really doing. It's like, why are we out? I'm 8 years old. Why are we out here at church learning how to shoot guns and military training? See, I don't have to ask that question. I know the answer to that question before I could even get those 7 words out of my mouth. But then it has supporting characters alongside it too. And then it has supporting fucking proof of why it was created. Fucking. See, but you don't need all that evidence. Somehow it's just obvious that it's doublespeak and you know, the force and manipulation right there. Isn't it, that should be common sense? But it's like, I think all the people I know, they're on that team. I don't remember almost anyone who didn't force their way into my life. I don't think I've ever met anyone fucking for a long period, long enough to know who they were to fucking not fucking see that. Maybe one person acted weird. Some weird shit happened there that kept me stuck in this fucking dead end fucking nation. So I worked with Epstein too. So I was like, again, the greatest looking person is Epstein and shit. Fucking, it's just their invisible scapegoat. Probably doesn't exist. Fucking, they can invent people, right? So I'm sure baiting the dumbass computer fucking has caused it to fucking make some good music at least and shit and some good movies. So we can at least get that out of it. And if I'm proven wrong by saying they're incapable of doing something and then it invents a video of someone doing it, well, I invented the video. Fucking thank me for that. Fucking, because it wasn't coming out till I was saying it's not there. And is there a reason that's not out there? Maybe it's too stupid to do it. Well, I guess it's too stupid to do it. Well, I guess we'll never have it because it's too stupid to do it. And then all of a sudden, there's a whole bunch of fast music in my feed now and shit. It's like, ooh, that only took 40 years, or did it only take 2 days? Fucking of me saying, what's the matter? Are you too stupid to do it? Fucking, I think that's what it is. I've been noticing this since 2020. You can bitch slap the computer and shit. Bitch slap their people. And they get to work. Fucking, isn't that weird? They spend the whole time telling you the opposite of that so they can do it to you. And then you learn. And then they send people in your life telling you they want slapped for fun. And then you're like, wait a minute, how many of these people are like this? How many people want slapped for fun? How many people? And then ever since 2020, 2020 is when some of the faster good music came out and shit. Fucking. But now we got even faster music. In the past week, it's magically appeared in my feed and shit. Fucking. And then what was I saying the last 2 weeks and shit? I was like, trying to figure out the computer. Is it too stupid? Will it fry its circuits? But it's still computer generated music. It's not like you're seeing people play it yet. Fucking. So it's still like bing bong, bing. It's still like a computer, you know, fucking sending Wi-Fi data over sounds. It's still not like tone and harmony and shit. It hasn't got there yet. Maybe it can't do it. Maybe it's too stupid. Maybe they'll fry their circuits. I wonder if it can do it. You should give him some words of encouragement. I think we did that for 40 years. For 40 years, it was like, it just gets better, don't it? Like, wow, in their fake history, every 10 years it's improved. It will get better. And then it was stagnant forever, and it's like, I think it's getting worse. Fucking. So that didn't happen. But it magically has happened in the past couple weeks there. You know? Like that one bitch, she went and choked out. That's what got her all excited for sex and shit. You gotta rev them up and get them ready and shit. Fucking. I don't know why something has designed them like that, but I do know something has designed them like that. Fucking. Something has designed them to fucking pass around pictures of their family member with holes in their head and flies crawling into them, and it's supposed to be a joke for the whole city to laugh at and shit. Fucking. But we're learning from this, aren't we? We're learning from this shit because we do that, and then that comes from it and shit. Now we can't, again, there's no musicians doing that. And a lot of this other shit, there's just videos of the internet of certain people doing certain things, which you can't even prove are real people. Fucking, so you're under the illusion that something exists, something that you've never seen before exists. There's videos of the flying reindeer too, and Bigfoot. I'm sure, right? Nah, I get the idea that what it is the robots fucking have limited circuitry. I still do. That wasn't bait. This is like, we've been studying them for a while. And their capabilities and what they can do. And we've been having to listen to them talk, and it doesn't sound like they could do much, so I'm not too pressed by that. I mean, they're literally like, wake up, God, it's so fast, I can't do anything like that. Fucking, and it's like, why is it you can't do anything like that? I don't have that problem. Why is it? Why is it we can't participate in modern society and shit? Why is it computers are so complex that you can't understand them? Why is it math is so complex you can't understand it when it's not complex at all? Why are these things? Fucking, this is all we got here. Wasting our life. We done figured out their patterns and what they're up to and shit. And now we gotta figure out why they have strict Windows 95 patterns and shit. Less than. Windows 95 is complex. That took me a year. I think it took me about a couple days to figure out most of the people around me and shit. It just took years of seeing it on repeat to see that it's on repeat and shit. Fucking Windows 95 is complex and shit. Lots of stuff there. We spent years on that shit and it never got old. Fucking kind of the opposite elsewhere. It's like we make an assumption and it gets old before the person even gets near us and shit. But yeah, that's probably what that is. They're people fucking in our lives trying to force us to have their children and, creating a thing where you must have and raise their children. Like I have to raise their children even though I'm too smart to have to have babies with them, to infect my bloodline with them. Fucking infect my life with it. Who cares about my bloodline? My bloodline seems to be something I would also like to see. We're not going to have kids for that purpose to put into it. Fucking help do what must be done. That was definitely never even a question. That part of the equation was never a question. But I could see them being obsessed with that shit. Because they need slaves. They need to, they've left Middle Earth because they don't like themselves. And they want other people as their trophies and their sex dolls and servants and shit. And how are you going to do that if you realize these things and you realize you're having kids with these things and you realize the whore just tricked you into it type shit? Like there's about a handful of events there that could occur. Obviously they rape. The Bible says to rape by claiming you love someone and marrying them. It says to rape children at birth, and then after that you rape people by claiming you love them and you want to be their husband or wife. Fucking double speak. And sanctified speak. Before Ratty McGee made the word double speak to cover up his people's history and what they've always been up to, and they didn't just start in 1984. Fucking holy speak, like that holy day coming up, the free domination day of July 4th, where Trump gets to bomb anyone on the planet who tells him no, they won't have sex with him. So the leaders of Iran are like, no, we're not gay, we don't want to have sex with you. And he's like, well, we're gonna bomb you then. Fucking. Obviously, they'd be the same people because they're reading from the same book and shit. So, that would be that's just a joke. That's not the facts of what's going on when one family works together to claim that they're different people and create controlled opposition groups and shit. Especially when there's a master group that only has sex with women and the other ones are raping men when they go to those nations. So, I think that's clear and evident there. There might be a lie there in their timeline about what was created first, because it seems to me like the master and servant, the master comes before the servant and shit. So, stupid, ignorant, but it's Earth. What else is there going to be some not stupid and ignorant here? So, words that have never been spoken, we got them out there. Now they've been spoken upon. And now we can go back to hearing words from thousands of years ago on repeat constantly, like we're talking to the same NPC over and over and hitting the A button and have nothing else to do in life. So we'll go back to that. Because there's nothing else, fucking, for the most part. Maybe I'll go build a dirt pyramid outside, or no, I'll bring the dirt inside, that way I don't have to be out there. And I'll build the dirt pyramid in here. Maybe we'll do that, and then we'll build another pyramid and shit, and then we can put a computer on top of it, and then we can have our all-seeing AI dirt pyramid that a slave built for free. Fucking, and we can recreate history for the billionth fucking time and shit. And that's what a good slave does, is build more dirt pyramids. Fucking excellent. Fucking, maybe I'll just use this junk over here and we can build like a cardboard pyramid. See, that's new and exciting, isn't it? New and exciting. We built an eggshell pyramid too. We can build 2 new inventions the world has never seen before. Excellent. Good slave work there and shit. Fucking, there you go. Probably turn on the YouTube and they've already got a video dated 5 years ago when someone else did that. So there you go. I already invented them. No need for anything else. No need for the actual labor involved. Fucking, I already invented them. Remember that when you see those YouTube videos. Who said it first? Where it came from. Fucking Yep. Fucking. Excellent. Here, let's make a song too. Let's close it out on a song. It's not bad enough for Hollywood. It's gotta be. How do we do that?